Hello, Knights fans. Back with the Knights baseball roundup this week with interim head coach Justin McKay. Coach McKay has taken over for Gary Puccio in the interim while coach deals with some medical condition. Just talk about your experience thus far here in the first few games. Now, one seat further up on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we want to wish Coach a speedy recovery. And that doesn't just come from me. It comes from the alumni and the players and the administration. We hope he gets better soon. We miss him already. So, obviously there's not ideal conditions for me to step in, but I'm happy to do so, and I'm going to do my best for, what we can for the program. But, we want to wish Coach a speedy recovery and let him know that we miss him.
Obviously, our thoughts are with Coach Puccio as he recovers. Now back with the team here, obviously the things haven't gone the way you've looked like to as of late, scuffling a little bit. You've had a rash of injuries. I mean, it's become to the point where you're down to second, third, fourth string guys at certain positions at this point. Lost some key guys, particularly your shortstop Bobby Romano, and then Adam Frank, the freshman who came on, won NEC Player of the Week, and then you found out a couple of days later that you'd be without him as well. As a coach, it's something you don't ever want to have to deal with, and now you're trying to piece this team together. You're dealing with lineup, guys out of different positions. How difficult has that been here in the early stages to go through all this?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so as a coach, we don't want to focus on it, right? We want to focus on the guys there, but, this is college baseball. We're not on ESPN. There isn't injury updates of what's going on. So I guess we'll address it. I'll address it, and then we'll move forward. I mean, we've dealt with this has been an amazing experience, because I've never seen anything like this. Our original starting shortstop, Hunter Reeser, had an arm injury. He's done for the year. We had an unselfish senior who had played third base every year, every single inning that he played here at third base, volunteered and went over to shortstop. And he's done for the year with his knee. Then our guy that left second base who went to third base to replace Bobby, he's done for the year. And then our first baseman and our other main contributor, Owen Von Essinger, are both out for an extended amount of time, 4 to 6 weeks. And then we also have a couple injuries on the pitching staff. So I guess to address it one time, we are dealing with a significant amount of injuries that coaching, I've never seen it this way, and especially in a particular area, being the entire infield and all the catchers besides one. So, but in general, moving forward, our guys that are in place now have done a tremendous job. Like, it's not just a good job. They've done a great job for their ability, for what they could do, for stepping in. We pulled 2 outfielders who have never really played infield from the outfield. One's playing first, one's playing third, at times. And guys have been stepping up. We have pitchers and position players catching bullpens in the game right now, and not to spill out all of our information that way, but these kids deserve the credit for what they've been doing. I mean, we have guys that have been subbed out in the game and have dropped their stuff and gone right down to the bullpen to warm up pitchers for us. So it's just a very unselfish atmosphere right now. They're doing tremendous. I mean, the record doesn't indicate, we won 7 of 9, we were on our direction, and then within a 2-game span, it was like a sinking ship, just watching pieces fall out. We had our first baseman, Steve Yellen, who also was a very good catcher, collided with our catcher in the middle of play. He was done, so it just kind of has been a sinking ship in that nature. But guys are really stepping up. So, to sum it up again, we want to focus on the players that are playing now, and they're doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, it truly shows the closeness of this team for guys to step up. They're playing out of position, but it's an all-hands-on-deck approach, and everyone's willing to come in and chip in and help out where they can. Maybe it's not their natural position, but it has been an opportunity, and that's what comes with this. You get guys injured, but it does present opportunities for other guys to step in and maybe get more at-bats and more reps that they weren't going to get. And specifically, you get Oliver Tavares now. He comes in at shortstop. Yeah. He may have been a guy who thought would play sparingly off the bench, and now he's your starting shortstop. Yeah. And a lot of freshmen have come up with contributions. Jason Ortiz playing second base, and the 2 of them particularly, they've really teamed up, and they've turned a bunch of double plays, and they've kind of come in. Talk about, the contributions of the freshmen. I know Coach Puccio and I have really focused on that a lot in the early part of the season, but it continues to be game in and game out. These guys have come in and done what they've needed.
Yeah, look, as a coach, you can't sit there and expect him to do what the guy they replaced did. You know, Bobby Romano led the conference in home runs or something like that. Was the top of the conference in home runs last year. So we can't expect Oliver to step in and do the same thing, but we can expect them to do their job, their role, what they can do. And they've done terrific. Again, they've done a terrific job. I mean, how many double plays have those guys turned, which has been major factors in keeping games closer and competitive. They you know, Oliver has done terrific. You know, he wasn't expected to be hitting 6th in the lineup this year. You know, you look at the original lineup, the first 5 of the top 7 guys, they're not there. And now guys are moving up, and he's doing a great job. And Jason Ortiz doing a great job defensively and offensively. You know, Ortiz wasn't expected to have a lead off for us this year, and he's stepping up, and he's handling his business, and he's giving us a great effort. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's offensively, and then there's other guys you can go up and down the roster,
Yeah.
Peter Theodorelis and so forth. But then you talk about the freshman pitching, which was something you didn't know you were going to have to rely on coming into the season. You had the junior Corey Zeller, you had the veteran Joe Flack in the bullpen, but then you knew you'd have these freshmen, and they seem to just be getting better and better every game. Evan Rayburn, Trent Valentine, Aaron Cohen, Austin Krebs. You can go down the line. Just talk about their maturation here, even though we're only about a third into the season.
Yeah, they have been terrific. I mean, look, the class was nationally ranked, and it was heavy on pitching. So the reason why it was national is because of these pitchers, and they are living up to the bill. You know, and it's such a unique feeling as a freshman. They come here, and all fall we play with a certain defense, and all of a sudden the defensive pieces are totally shuffled around them, and they're out there with outings with sometimes 2 outfielders that have never played infield and they're making it work. They're doing the right stuff. So, and the games have been very, very competitive, very close. We had a tough 9th inning, 6-5 game against LAU that turned out to be a bad 9th inning, but that was a 6-5 game the entire way. It was a good game. These guys are, not to keep going on about it, but the freshmen are just really stepping up. They're really setting this program. Like they're showing a good direction of this program. And without question, this staff will be together for years to come, and they're just only going to get better.
Yes, definitely. And then we'll talk about that LIU series. Obviously, it didn't go the way you wanted.
Yeah.
There were definitely some bright spots. You were in a lot of those games. The final score wasn't necessarily indicative of how close those games were played. A couple breaks here and there. As you talk to a young team, how important is it to keep their spirits up, despite maybe get a loss, but try to find the positive and the silver linings in some of these games?
Yeah, first off, their spirits up were every day, every game, every inning. They did they were fantastic when it came to that. And first and foremost, the credit deserves to LAU. Very good program. They're, I'll tell you right now, they are going to be top of the conference every year going forward. Their coaching staff does a terrific job. They play a terrific style of play. They put a lot of athletes out there. They mix the lineup well, and they play tough. So first and foremost, LAU deserves a credit that for beating us this weekend. On the other side of the coin, the way we competed with what the talent caliber matchup was terrific. I mean, they were more. It's okay to say they were more talented this weekend. They had more talent in the field, and they did what they were supposed to do. But our guys matched it as much as we could, and they put a tremendous effort. If you were at the games, you saw a tremendous effort from our guys. You saw tremendous energy. You saw excellent poise. And what happened was we just didn't produce the offense that we needed to. I mean, the defense was solid and the pitching was solid. We didn't produce the offense that we needed to take the pressure off or just to win the game. So really this weekend was on an offense that's trying to regroup and find itself, and this wasn't the weekend for it because they're good and they have good pitching and they did a good job.
Yeah, as much as we've talked about the youth of this team, there are some mainstays in there. Evan McDonald, for one, and Jason Fatzinger, your senior out there right field. He's played a little first base by necessity. Yeah. He's hitting over 300 this season. And these guys, how have they responded to the fact that maybe they would have been – I mean, they're going to be counted on, obviously, for offensive contributions, but to have to shoulder a little bit more of the burden, specifically power-wise, to get extra base hits and maybe hit a couple homers, to be more run producers and again, fill the void missing here.
Yeah, and that's what, as a coaching staff, we're trying to get through them. That's what happened in the beginning of when the injuries first happened. Guys are trying to do too much. They're trying to be something that they're not, and that's kind of we've taken some steps back offensively in regard to that. And I don't want them to try to make up for everything what's going on. I want them to play them, do what they can do. and help the team win and rely on other people as well. So, our older guys have done a terrific job of taking the punches. When you see Bobby Romano, who's been our guy, senior, get carried off the field, it's a different dynamic. But then we stayed in the game. We gave a competitive game. So they've done a great job. They need to continue to do better. Everybody here needs to continue to do better. But they are certainly rolling with the punches really well.
And now as you look ahead, you lost a game here against Iona due to the weather today, but you'll head up to Siena, hopefully get a game in there. You're kind of getting a break here from NEC action. You'll get Siena, a non-conference opponent, before heading to UMBC. Down to Baltimore there, you're going to play a single game on Saturday and a doubleheader on Sunday. So is it kind of nice actually to take a step back, get out of conference play a little bit, and get a chance to play some non-conference opponents and kind of regroup and maybe see what works and try some different things out?
Yeah, I mean, it's – in the end, I not to discredit what I want them to focus on the game. Like whoever it is, however it is, let's just approach the game. Let's try to do what we have to do. I think the fact that it's non-conference, it does permit some shuffling of the way the pitching will work and some shuffling of guys that perhaps need certain reps at certain spots. So it certainly does permit that. But we're going out to win every game, and we want to approach every opponent the same way. So non-conference, conference really isn't a factor. However, obviously when you're dealing with what we're dealing with, it does give us some leg room to regroup, repair, get some other things in place for when we host Bryant the following weekend. So we're excited, hopefully to get tomorrow in, weather permits, and then we're certainly excited to get going again this weekend in Baltimore.
Definitely. Well, good luck this week, Coach. Hopefully we get healthy and get some good, some positive contributions.
All right. Thank you very much.
So the Knights will head out to Loudonville on Wednesday at 3 p.m. to take on the Siena Saints before traveling down to Baltimore this weekend. It'll be a 6 p.m. start on Saturday against UMBC, followed by a doubleheader on Sunday with the first game beginning at noon. So for all information, if you want to stay up to date with the schedule changes, the stats, recaps, everything, just head to fdunites.com.